We're designing and building a new rudder to replace an old one, but we have to fit it to the old hardware. So it's going to take a little bit of cutting and fitting. We did a little bit before the routing and the grinding and the sanding, and a little bit afterwards. See what it did? That's coming up right now. One of the problems associated with building a new rudder is to try and get the old stuff lined up just right. This piece here was a, well, let's mince words, a bastardization of the old rudder, and the only thing I can go on is basically where this comes up and runs into here and acts like a stop, and also what I have to run on is this center hole right here. So this piece I'm not going to mess with because that's part of the rudder system. Basically supports it. Everything below the water line, this actually is the bottom of the boat right there, so I want to go a ½ inch down, and then the boat tips. The back is, so I'll give it, bring that like a ½ inch out. But the main thing I'm looking at is this distance right here. Appears to be about maybe 4 1/8 at the shortest spot. If I have to do a little bit of trimming over here, if I make it 4 inches, there's just going to be too much room over here. But 4 1/8, and I mean at any other angle, it's got plenty of room. 4 1/8, and it gets pretty close to it. So the other part of that is getting this part all straightened out. Now, one of the things I noticed when this is in place and lined up properly, it doesn't, it's supposed to, the leading edge should follow this line right here, but as you can see, it stops short of that. It should just come straight out like that. It doesn't. So this is in the wrong place. It should be maybe a 1/4 of an inch steeper. And that is this little guy, like right here. And I've got this bolted because I'm getting ready to cut this. That is this little guy right here. Now I've got a clamp in the way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit taller than it should be, and then I already know this is already too tight. It needs to be cut back even further. When it comes time to do that, then I can cut that back. But for now, I need to get it out of the way so that I can model this. So that means it's time to do some cutting. Now, so what I've done is I've taken, now I can never remember if this is a compass or protractor, but I think it's a, I've done this in pencil first, if you can see, 4 1/8 inch. Made my lines right there. And then of course I get the sweep back to go under the boat, because this is the front. This is the front of the rudder. Okay, here we go. Okay, so at this point, here's the old one. Here's the old rudder, the little piece of junk. And I recall that one of the problems it had was that it would not move all the way forward. And of course, the reason it's not going to move all the way forward, this is the front edge, and the reason is because it gets cocked right over here. And the new rudder, just going to put the new rudder. So the new rudder sits forward, and what I've done is I've put the pivot here. I've got the sleeve on the inside there to keep it from going around. And this is going to set up, so I'll put the tail on this, the bottom of it on this, so that up there, and see where it's going to line up. And the main thing I'm looking at is to see where these two bits, the front of this, is parallel to the front of that, or not, yeah, parallel to it. And so that's where it needs to stop. And I've decided that, now I've drawn one line already, but I haven't drawn it where I'm going to cut. I have drawn, yes, actually I have drawn where I'm going to cut. So the old one does need to come forward. If I ever have to use it again, I want it to be available. But you can see the old one came right to here. And I think that's where I'm gonna, actually the cut that I'm gonna make is gonna have it back a little bit. And I'm relying on the old rule. You can always cut more, take more off, but you can't always put more back on. So I'm just going to cut to here, and then if I need to, and then see what happens when this comes forward, see how much it bends. And then if I need to shave a little bit more off, I can shave more off as it needs. As far as I'm concerned, this piece is done. We're going to take that out, put it on a hanger, and I'm going to varnish it. I'm not going to stain it, I'm just going to varnish, varnish, and varnish. I'm going to put at least 3 coats, maybe 4. So that's the next thing, just put some varnish on this thing and let it go. Thanks for watching my program. If you like my videos, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for an organized listing of my YouTube videos, go to my website, www.wherearemyplacebos.com, and click on videos. Have a great day.